Welcome to Needle Me This, the podcast where I tattoo people, ask them borderline intrusive questions, and somehow make it feel therapeutic instead of illegal. I'm Colin, your emotionally fluent tattoo artist, accidental interviewer, and certified chaos conductor. Every conversation is a real conversation with the person in my chair. The stories, the glow-ups, the trauma bonding, the pain scale lies, all of it. So breathe, get comfortable, and let's talk about the things that actually stick with you.
Hi, Dante.
Hi. Introduce yourself like America needs to root for you in a season finale.
Oh God! All right, I'm Dante Kraft. I found Colin a few months ago. I kind of got blown away within the first 30 seconds of checking out his work. I was waiting on it, and I said fuck it and went for it for my birthday. And a single day thing turned into a 2-day thing, and I decided it would be a great idea to be absolutely just annihilated for 12 hours on my 22nd birthday. Worth it. It was great. Colin and he had Paige with him. I could not have any better experience with what was going on.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy day. It was my first 2-day on a rib piece, and it was just a crazy kind of experience for everybody, I think.
But it was well worth it.
It was a great time. Paige, by the way, is my photographer. If you don't know her, she's Soulful Creations by Paige on Instagram. Go give her a follow. How did you find me in general? And please don't tell me it was Pinterest.
It was not Pinterest. I think I was coming through, I was checking out just artists in my area, and I think I came across you on like Instagram just out of the blue. And it really, the way, like, you know, my back tattoos I originally.
Right.
So I thought I wanted to do more of like mostly line work, silhouette type style. I don't know what it'd really be called, but I found your work, and it's just, it's kind of like a comic book. And I think I explained that to you when you were doing my ribs. It's realistic enough to like not look like a cartoon, but it's animated looking enough where it's like art on my body.
Right. We call that illustrative.
Illustrative. So I saw that, and it was immediate that I was interested, and it was just about what I was going to do, because I had my back tattoo. And of course, how that ended up is we're just going to redo my back. So yeah, it was well worth it. The one led to another. So the ribs were September, now we're in November, and we're doing a full sleeve. Probably sometime next year we'll either be finishing up the sleeve or starting my back, and I'm excited whole way through.
Yeah, so we've got this plan to do like connect his back to the sleeve, and eventually it's gonna come to his chest too. So it's got this like whole big plan, which is we're both very excited about. So why don't we dive into what tattoo we're doing today, and what possessed you to trust me to tattoo your skin today?
Today? Well, with your attitude and within the last 20 minutes, I have no idea. But no, I think your style is, I think it was the Japanese work I saw that you originally did. And I wasn't going with that aesthetic, but the actual look of it looked great. So I wanted to see it as, I've always been into Norse stuff. So like the meanings of certain stories, like exactly like how Greek and Roman mythology is, but Norse is just cooler. So the first tattoo, we did the two birds, the two ravens, which they mean foresight. My back is for, crows are kind of like a bad omen in Norse. So I was just going with a real edgy tattoo for my first tattoo. And then after finding you, my second tattoo, we added the color, and I kind of shifted from like just the edgy line work to like actually having like a story behind it. So I wanted to keep the theme and the aesthetic similar with our first tattoo and with Norse. So this time around, we're doing Jormungandr. And
Jormungandr, I can't say it still.
He is the world serpent. So there's like, I'm not exactly perfect with Norse mythology, but I know there's several realms in it, and he basically is destined to eat them all. He's kind of all over the place with whether he's like a bad guy or just like it's kind of more about fate with him. So this the ravens are foresight, The Jormungandr tattoo is more like just kind of, it is what it is. It's going to happen. It's fate. The back tattoo, when we inevitably do that, will be more still the bad omen type of vibe with the crows, but we're going to add color, so it won't actually just
A little stale.
stale. So yeah, with Jormungandr, we were talking about actually what we're going to do with my left arm. I'm trying to tell I would say I'm trying to tell a story with everything we're doing, at least on my upper half. Now my legs are just going to be, they're going to throw the whole thing.
Right, totally different story.
They're just going to basically be whatever I'm feeling, we'll throw on them, and then one day we'll make them make sense.
Yep.
Where background comes in, and that's where the fun goes in play. So, what's been going on in your life lately that has led you to this piece specifically?
A lot. I'll just say it's been a really interesting year, and a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs, but the ups have been very high, and it's very unexpected, and at the end of each day, it's kind of just, it is what it is.
Right.
And that's what really, when I was talking to you the last time with this tattoo, instead of doing my left sleeve and my back first, that's why I really felt this one needed to happen this year. I also felt the first one needed to happen this year, but 2 is fine with me. And the more the merrier at this rate. I love them so much.
100%. I feel like a lot of people get big pieces when they're going through like a big like transformational stage in their life. And what you're saying about how you had like a lot of downs and stuff. It's a good time to get tattooed, I feel like, because it's obviously like a pretty painful experience. So it kind of like grounds you in a way and really like let you focus in on like what's happening like right then and there.
Yeah, it's really hard to think about like, I don't know, like bills when you're in agony for 24 hours straight. And that's part of it, is it just kind of, it's an escape while I get it done. And then there's a lot of pride with once it's done. And I mean, you know more than anyone that I would want to back out, and then I like get 20 seconds of like walking around. I'm like, all right, let's get back into it.
I don't let you back out.
So it's a very good like hoorah type of thing to have. And this year, because of how it's been, 2 is probably, honestly, I could have saw me doing 3 if I found you sooner in the year. But there's always next year and the year after that.
Right. It's all about the journey. It's no rush or anything like that. It's all about right then and there. And when you find them, there's always going to be, I feel like a lot of people rush into tattoos and stuff, but
It's always good to, right?
I just needed one, so I just went out and got one, and I never really looked at it badly, but I saw your work and it just was, it definitely is, it could be so much more without really the idea having to change. It would be worth having the colonization of it.
appreciate that. I don't know if I asked this already. What version of you is getting tattooed today?
The crackhead version of it. Usually whenever I just want to like get beat up for a while, I call you like immediately. So
That's hilarious.
to know good side, I guess. How are you so nonchalant?
It took a while to get there. I would say it was probably like over the past year of like doing all the traveling and putting myself in a bunch of uncomfortable situations. And it kind of forced myself to get comfortable really quickly and building myself up like quickly and like not allowing myself to get like a chip on my shoulder and like really just keep like checking myself and getting critiqued like a lot and just throwing myself out there really quick. I'm not going to say really quickly.
Well, like you never seemed cocky, but you seem like, because you're our newer artist, realistically. Right. So like in September when I was there, I expected like either, like when I got this one, she was a newer artist and you could tell. It was just she was fun, but like the entire vibe was just very, I'd say non-professional, but like she seemed nervous and you were not for like being newer. And then, but you weren't also like, oh, just don't have to be because I'm just amazing at it. You had like a respect behind it. And that kind of caught me off guard entirely because I expected either just a little bit of like, because leading up to that moment, I knew you just got into the shop in Syracuse.
Studio.
Everything's just up to me. So yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing that I think took me off guard with you, and you just kept up like the entire time. Like even if when we both got tired, you didn't really didn't dumb down at all. Just working right away, like you're just in your zone.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to the passion behind it.
I could see that.
I like the back work that goes into it, and it's really all I care about anymore. Like I go home and I'm drawing, watching videos, I'm reaching out to people and just talking to the people I've been looking up to and stuff. I'm looking at what they're doing. Whenever I'm in Instagram, it's more like research than like just scrolling social media and just like doom scrolling and stuff. Like there's always intention behind everything I'm doing. So that's what's like building the confidence and stuff. So whenever I'm going into a session, there's always like that pre-planned hours and hours and hours beforehand. So like there's no guesswork as I'm tattooing. It's so like that confidence is built before the session starts, because like that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
There's no reason for there to be no confidence before the session starts. So I think that me going out and learning from everybody I've been looking up to for so long, that's what they've kind of engraved into my brain, and they've engraved the importance behind that. And so I just want to portray that in every session that I go into now. And so I appreciate you bringing that up, and it's a lot of work that goes into it. And so it's cool to hear that.
So what you're saying is you do God knows how much work, and then you have motherfuckers like me walking in and you gotta deal with me for 24 hours on top of the who knows how much time of setup and prep.
Yeah, you could say that. I would say it's dealing with you. I think it's fun. It's fun energy. It's more of it's like an energy exchange. We kind of feed off each other throughout the day, and I think that's what so we can make it through the endless hours on end.
So again, the next question would be, what happens when they don't feed into it? Have you ever had any clients that just kind of they're like talking to a rock?
100%. There's always, I wouldn't say always, during the consultation process, you can kind of feed off of see where people are heading in their direction. And you can kind of decide on whether you're going to take them on as a client right then and there. And that's why I prefer the in-person consultation versus just everything over messaging, because everyone's stuck in their phones all the time, and they're kind of scared to get into the studio.
Yeah.
And when it's a friend-to-friend referral, that's one thing, because generally the friends to friends, they can get the vibe check for me. But if it's like a new person, I prefer to get them into the studio and then get that conversation going, and then you can generally get that vibe. And
I know I would have thrown that off, because it was like 3 days beforehand, and I was jumping. I'm like, you got an opening on Saturday? I'm there.
Sometimes you just got to pay the bills, and you just got to suffer through it. And I've done that. But like you use like 4 times the amount of energy that you'd use when I'm working with like you or something.
I can see that. That's how.
And it's completely draining.
Like 100% draining. By the end of the day, like you're just leaving, and it's just like you don't have a good day. You're not as pleased with the tattoo because they're fighting you every step of the way, and it's like I don't like working with those people, and I would honest to God rather not make money that day than work with that type of person.
That's kind of in the trade, isn't it?
You'd be surprised how many people don't care about it. They'd rather just make the money and give you the shitty tattoo. Yeah, and that's why the industry is like, it's in like a wiggly wobbly space right now, and it's just.
Is it inflated? Is there like a lot more tattoo artists now than usual?
100%. There's like the industry is at like, it grew from like a $2 million industry to like a $4.5 million industry over the past like 3 to 5 years, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And then there's like that huge bump with like TikTok or TikTok people, and like people just trying to be like the fine line artists and all that stuff, but they're gonna quickly fall off because the industry's like building into more of like a commercial worldwide industry and stuff like that, and a lot of people are like building up different variations of like second skin and their own tattoo inks and all that kind of stuff. And so to keep up with it, you got to do what you got to do.
Are there like shifts in like what's popular? I mean, anything there is, but like I know there's like your broad styles, so like your neo-traditionalism, and then there is it's American traditionalism, and then the one that is very cartoony, no, you said it was very trippy.
Yeah, that's your surrealism.
Like, is it like as it shifts, like what's popular? How does that affect you?
I'd say in a way, I think it all depends on who's posting what and like what's being shown the most. So I think like neo-trad is kind of being pushed the most right now, and so that's like really what's the most popular. Japanese has always been a foundational thing that's always been popular. American traditional went through its phase in like the 90s and early 2000s, and then fine line made its way in like 2000 or 2020 and like 2024. I'd say it started like fading away because we finally realized that the lines just thicken up pretty quickly.
You don't like fine line, do you?
No, I hate fine line. Like I still use fine line in my stuff for that like contrast because I like the bold lines versus the thin lines. But it's like how you strategically use it and stuff like that.
Well, the bold lines, I think, are what bold lines in the color is what makes it animated for you, at least.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole thing looks like if I move, so it looks like the birds are flying. And I'm excited for this guy because he's. As I move my arm,
Slither up your arm.
which is ironic because I hate snakes, but it's not. Yep, he gets it. He gets it now. Dragon head.
But it's getting about that time where we gotta get over there and get going. So
Gotta start getting fucked up for the day.
get fucked up and get wrecked. But we'll check back in about halfway through.
Might be screaming.
Definitely be screaming.
Oh no, you're gonna. Okay. I thought you were gonna start fucking my arm again like you were earlier. See, that's just rude. On camera and everything.
So we are mid-tattoo now. We're halfway through. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all you get.
This is a fucking trap. He's touching it again.
Just a little bit of ointment. We're right next to the stage, so it's a little bit loud, so we gotta talk loud.
I'll just start screaming, honestly.
So, we got some deep client questions to get through. What chapter are we tattooing right now? Growth arc or villain origin?
I would say growth arc.
And why is that?
On to better things.
Do you want to dive into that at all, or you want to leave it to...
Well, like I said earlier, with the first one we were doing, it's more just things happen for a reason. Move the fuck on. Now, if it was a fucking villain one, I think it would be a little more edgy.
I agree. Yeah, we definitely want to like... I feel like it was like a good mix of like soft and edgy for the...
Which I kind of like at the moment, more so than just pure edgy. Or, it's colorful, but like, in an edgy way.
Right. What's something that you've survived that you never hype yourself up for?
Survived that I never hype myself up for. My childhood, probably.
And I'm putting no pressure on you to dive into that because I know childhood trauma can be deep.
Yeah.
You want me to move on, or you want to dive into it?
Parents are haters.
Somebody judged your life by your tattoos. What wrong conclusion would they make?
That I'm really bad with money.
Why do you say that?
The only pieces I have in my body are literally ginormous. There's not any like little dummy like, oh, I felt like getting a $20 tattoo or a $100 tattoo. They're all like over a grand.
I feel like a lot of people who have like the large scale stuff that like looks really cohesive, people are always like, oh, I'll never have the money for that, and they don't think that there's ways to achieve it.
There's that, but it's also because I'm only 22, so like it's a lot of skin to cover in one piece, which I am all for, but that would really be the only thing I can guess, is just a lot of money to throw at something so fast. But, I mean, there was a good 3 years before I came to you that I had this one on my back, so I had some time to think.
And this one, we ended up using my afterpay method, which is new, which made it pretty convenient for you to amp up a one day session to 2 day pretty quickly.
Which is worth it. It'll be a more finished piece. So I'll actually go home after dealing with all the fucking pain and have like a mostly finished piece besides the little addition we're probably gonna do.
Right, and only have to heal it once rather than 7 times.
Yep.
I feel like that's the most annoying part with like covering large areas, is having to go through the healing process so many times.
I'll take it. I kind of believe like when I'm committed to getting the tattoo, I'm committed. I don't want to go home and wait a long time to come back for it, so it worked out. And then if I had done the 3rd day, it would have just given us more room to just add, this tattoo would be ginormous.
Right, that's when we would probably get to the chest, because it's like, I don't know if we're going to get there or not. It's stressful.
You're moving pretty quick right now. Feeling pretty good. Oh, because you're still going with the red. Okay.
Yeah, but the scales will move quickly.
The scales?
Yeah. Because the way I do the scales, it's like a very layered effect. So it's like I'll like lay down like a blue, like the general blue across like everything, and then I'll start deepening things. And being that the skin's open from that first layer of blue, it just starts taking the ink pretty easily.
So I assumed it would go down kind of like the petals would. Just there's a lot more of them. Ooh.
But there might be a lot more, but it's a lot bigger of a space, so it's actually a lot easier to tattoo. That's why I like doing the large scale. Is like people think it. I mean, it obviously does take a while to get the tattoo done, but it's a lot easier to tattoo because you're not in all like the nitty gritty spaces and stuff like that.
Right now it feels like you're on my wrist.
I'm near it.
When you're actually on my wrist, it feels like you're on the top of my hand. It's fine.
Something you wish people understood about you without a 3-paragraph explanation.
Just how purely retarded I am.
You can't say that.
How purely stupid I am. You could edit that.
Dive into a little bit, but
I'm smart when I want to be, but when I'm not thinking about it, I am the most oblivious.
Oblivious what?
How? I'm oblivious. I usually think. I think in every direction except for in a straight line.
Retweet.
Makes a really good time when I'm trying to put a roof on a building, or a porch on something, or a deck.
I know you said roof, but it kind of sounded like you said loofah, and I was confused for a second.
Nah. There's lesson in stupidity, so it comes in handy sometimes. Woo!
What's been healing you lately besides this tattoo and or your animals?
Well, there's 2 answers to that.
There's 2 what?
2 answers. 1 would be my bike, and 2 would be her. The bike is a distraction. The bike's fun. I Daytona 660. It goes vroom vroom, and I go zoom zoom. And then
What year is it?
2025.
Oh, so you got brand new.
Yeah. I would have 4 up by now if I didn't also get a truck. And then kind of the whole excitement of meeting her.
Her is Olivia off
Is Olivia, yep. Step in the right direction.
I would away from toxic people.
Yes. The bike is kind of a step in a direction that is
the person you always wanted to be type thing.
Honestly, this year's been expensive more than anything.
There's straight up people wrestling over in the background. I can't hear shit.
Why does this design hit different for you?
I think it was like this, how I wanted the wrap of the Jormungandr to fit your arm, and I really wanted it to really be dynamic. And it was finding like the different references I wanted to use, and then like adapting the Japanese styles to it.
And so like it was like a really big challenge in that aspect. And then I really wanted to like simplify it down to compared to like what I normally do sometimes.
Yeah.
So I can make sure that we complete it in our time frame here. And so it was a bit of a challenge to like really dial things back, simplify things, like just doing this straight red here instead of like a red gradient. Like I did do like a little bit of like a black to like medium wash to the red, but if I were at home, like I would do like 5 different reds or something.
Yep, I know you. I remember you and these petals on my abs right now. Always had to go back for that final touch.
You want a perfect tattoo or a shitty tattoo?
I want a perfect tattoo, motherfucker, you know it. When you were designing this tattoo, when did you kind of realize you had like, I wouldn't say the theme, but like what, the vision of like what it needed to look like? When did that pop in your head?
I would say it's pretty early on, and like after I pick my references that I'm gonna be utilizing, I just kind of start like throwing shit together in Procreate. That's why I love digital designing so much, because like I can just start throwing my references around and kind of piecing it together, start getting like seeing the image that I'm like seeing in my head a little bit, and then sometimes it doesn't quite click how I want it to click. So like instead of doing the whole drawing and then realizing it doesn't work, I'm not sitting there wasting my time, because like I know how I design, I know how it's going to look in the long run. So just kind of utilizing the references in that way and just kind of like cutting them up and like throwing them together and such, it kind of gives me that view automatically. So after about like 4 or 5 different tries of going through that, I kind of got the flow of the dragon, serpent, Jormungandr.
When you, I think we touched on it earlier before we got here, but now that you're actually in the middle of the tattoo, why do you think our energies match and work well together? We talked about it earlier, but now that you've actually been working on me for the last 6 hours.
I think we both have a little bit of ADHD.
A little bit.
We both like to talk.
Talk shit a little bit.
I like that you hold my arm when I'm tattooing you.
Hold your arm?
Yeah.
I'm making a frame for you, a little armrest.
And you just kind of stay here and take it. So those are my kind of clients.
I just deal with the pain until it's over with.
Nothing's worse than somebody's just sitting here and like bitching and complaining the whole time. And you let me bully you, and I like bullying people.
Yeah, listen. No, you listen to him.
Alright, I think that's all the red.
How'd you think I'd act on the being in a convention? Like being tattooed in public.
Yeah, I figured you were gonna be excited and stuff. I feel like being in public makes you like act like more of like a badass, and you have to like, oh, I have to sit here and like be cool, and so like it just makes you seem like you sit a little bit better. But like I felt like it
Makes you sit a little better. Yeah, I can't lose my shit here, because if I was, I'd be screaming. But this one actually.
yeah, the arm is so much better than the.
I don't think I would make it through this tattoo for the
Yeah, look at that fucking red.
in convention.
So much better now that I went through, right? Patience, young Padawan.
Nah, there were several times with this tattoo that I actually probably did scream and didn't realize it. And then if we were here, I would be very conflicted on how I wanted to react to it. So luckily, so far, that was the worst of it.
Right, and I really like. It's still settling pretty nicely. Like I said, like I might like retouch right there a little bit, but like I want it to be like really light though. So it's like I don't know if I feel like that's what they're gonna come at me for in the judging. They're gonna be like, why isn't that fully saturated, Colin? Like, I wanted it like that, motherfuckers.
I'm just gonna be sitting there shaking my head. They say anything wrong, I'm just gonna look at you and just be shaking my head.
How are we doing today? Good. Thank you. Pay scale from 1 to I'm reconsidering everything. Where are we at right now?
Chilling at 4. The one was like a solid 7. I was reconsidering the size and it landing on my elbow, but it's all for the better good.
We never reconsidered size.
I know, we made it bigger the first time. Oh, it feels toasty. Yep. That's something. Going to the tree thing.
You want a break, or are you gonna pretend you're fine like the rest of us?
I'll pretend like I'm fine.
Good, because I wasn't gonna give you a break anyways.
That is good. You have a deadline there, buddy.
This tattoo could talk shit about somebody who's getting roasted first.
Of what?
If this tattoo could talk shit about somebody who's gonna get roasted first.
You motherfucker, you can't even pronounce his name.
Pronounce whose name? Jormungandr?
Yeah, yep. And then you got eaten. That's your last words. It would be Jormungandr, and then you'd be dead. I will not become nonverbal before 10 o'clock. I will not become nonverbal today. This is nothing.
So your tattoo at theme music right now, what would it be?
Right now?
Right now.
Well, in my head, I want to say Katy Perry's something. And then after it's done, hopefully something metal. Playing some, like, I don't know.
I love why Katy Perry?
Right now, because I'm just kind of playing the firework in my head at the. Yep. After everything's said and done, when I'm not in, probably like Polaris or something. Polaris or something Viking related. I don't know. Oh, actually, honestly, the fucking soundtrack from How to Train Your Dragon. That would match the tattoo at least. Toasty.
Well, you know what? When I post the tattoo, that's what I'll use. Excuse me, I'm trying to record over here.
Do you mind?
Andrew!
Someone made the mistake of saying pizza near me.
Saying pizza?
Saying pizza.
I had pizza last night.
Fuck you. Ah. Yep, these are the noises.
These are the noises of my people.
In my head, maybe. One of them's gonna slip out eventually, though. It's gonna be like 10 o'clock, I'll be out of it. And one's just gonna slip out and be like,
Are you saying you don't want me to hear your moans?
I mean, not yet. You gotta earn them first.
Welcome back. Part 3. Post-tattoo. We are both home now, and we are 2 days after the tattoo. We kind of fucked up a little bit, and we forgot to do the part 3.
Basically just wandered to my car and just so happened to drive away before Colin really.
Teehee, oopsie. So, tattoo's done. Where's your brain at? Are you enlightened? Are you delirious? Where are you at?
So same idea as, okay, oh, actually not the same. So my last tattoo, post like healing, I was definitely worse. I couldn't move. Like I would sit down in my car, it would be miserable. I would do anything. I'd stretch. Heaven forbid I stretch. So I'm easier going than I was with the last one. But obviously the same emotions. I think the entire time I'm getting tattooed, it's just, why am I doing to myself? I did not have to pay for this to happen to me. There's definitely a ritual to it, but then like after I'm done and I'm like checking it out, and like besides just the soreness, it's like a yeah. So like the relief is already there, the satisfaction, like the wanting of getting another one is already back.
Well, that was a quick turnaround.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like that with the last one, but the last one I could say like, all right, I got this convention like in a month and a half from now, so like we're good. It's already planned. This one is kind of like, how long am I gonna let myself go before I just need another one? Um,
Well, you want to take a trip to Savannah, Georgia in January?
don't give. I no, I soon, but not that soon. I want to reflecting on the whole game plan that we have for at least. I think this tattoo sits in such a good spot, and I love it so much that it didn't necessarily change any of the game, like the rough edges around what else we want to do, but I'm definitely feeling like just the red we have in this one, if I can do it, that guy, not even sure well. I want to try to explore with that a lot, but I want to sit on it a little bit. I don't want to just immediately be like, oh, I like the red because it pops and it makes me smile a little bit. So like I want like my other ginormous tattoo with that being like the basis to go off of. Because then I look at the blues and everything, and like that just I love everything works because it's there together. So I'm really just giving it some time to really get a game plan of what I want to commit to next. Because at this rate, we're on a winning streak. Because I look at my sleeve and then I look at what's on my abs, and they flow so well together. I don't want to mess that up by just getting one ASAP.
Well, I wouldn't allow that to happen.
I had it like I was thinking like I think I was talking about it to Olivia on the way back from Rochester, and I was like, yeah, I think I want another one already, and I think I'm gonna like start moving towards eventually doing it, probably next year. And then I was talking to myself at this rate because she's like passed out, and I was like, no. I want it to hit as hard as these two have, because remember, this is my original one I got in 2022. So I had 3 good years of like thinking about what I wanted to do. And these two that we've done so far were like the big ones. They were like I was certain of these two. My left arm really plays off of what we do with my back, and my back is such a free concept at the moment in my brain that like I don't know what direction we'll go in once we really actually look at my back. But I'm excited either way. It's kind of how like I wouldn't say addicting because I just love it, but
it's 100% addicting. You don't gotta lie.
Well, like it's addicting, but it's just the satisfaction part, which is maybe how everything works. But like when I'm sitting there getting that tattoo, if you like stopped, I think you made the joke, and you're like, I'm done, I would have been like, okay, and just left. And then I would get 20 minutes down the road and be like, nah, fuck this, and go back. So like it's really just in the moment, except for a few points, miserable. I hated it, and then after I love it. It's a really annoying game.
Right. When we started right around the elbow and just basically, or not around the elbow, around the wrist, and we just worked our way up around day 1, got around the elbow on day 2, started working up and finished.
Yeah.
And we outlined the wave around the elbow on day 1, and I decided to save the shading till day 2. So I didn't want him to be like too swollen going into day 2 quite yet. So there's a big strategies that goes into the back-to-back sessions and trying to deal with pain management and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of already answered this question a little bit, but did this turn out how you imagine, or do you need to lie to me?
No, it actually turned out better. The thing I love with you, but also like your style, neo-traditionalism, but also just you, is that like my first time in your studio, I said that I like trees. I mean, at least like when they're in relation to like birds. So like you flat out just told me right there and then you hated trees. You just don't like them. And I was able to get you to do a little bit of a tree on this one, but you took something that, because the whole thing, like, don't get a tattoo you don't want unless you are 110% certain that's what you want going on your body. You kind of make it where, like, just kind of have faith in the process and trust the chef, and it'll all end up okay. I learned that the first time because the first time I never imagined to have color on my body. I never imagined to have flowers, at least not in the way we did them. And the style you did it in, I always thought was too, not that style, but like where it's more animated, it's more lifelike. I was just gonna do. I don't really. You would know kind of what style my back is right now, but like the silhouette, just kind of like I just call it edgy. Where it's just
Shit.
where
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
it's just my back's just a silhouette of a dead tree with crows, and I thought that was its own style, but it might not be. I thought it was just I don't know. I'm not new at this. But then I went to your studio and I saw what you do and I liked it enough to at least try what I was doing, but like in with the way you did detail and everything. And then you convinced me on the color. And then you convinced me to ditch the tree. And then you convinced me to get the flowers. And by the time we started my first tattoo, I had faith in you, but I was also just very that's a lot. That's a lot of new different things that I wasn't set on. And then we kind of took a couple hours to like really hammer things out just to get me that like push to like definitely be committed to it. And then as soon as the tattoo got started and I actually started seeing the color pop and the way the detail was with the with everything, I just fell in love with it. So with this one, I basically like I think the exact conversation we had, you were like, "What are some key points you want in your tattoo?" And I was like, "I want Jormungandr. I would love a tree if it can go in there in any way, shape, or form, and that's about it." And then the birds, but we'll get to them eventually. And you took it and you made it into this. It's Norse themed, but then like it's like neo traditional style with like a Norse theme, but there's like because the color and everything, there's like Japanese vibes to it.
With a
And
little splash of Colin.
yeah, it's just I love it. It's just it's nothing and everything. It's just there's no like I mean a lot of the tattoos we were seeing at the convention they're very just they had a lot of style and a lot of personality to them, but they were very like if you saw the Japanese ones like they were Japanese tattoos. And then at our booth, it's not even a Japanese themed like nothing in this tattoo is Japanese, but it like the color scheme and then the style. It just I don't really know. I remember when they
It
were
like
calling
scratches that Japanese itch in a way. Yeah.
yeah, like it's I've always had like I've loved the colors of Japanese, but I usually don't really I never really wanted a Japanese style tattoo. But now I kind of have both best of both worlds that I've wanted.
Right.
Like they were calling out like the categories for at the convention. I just could not in my head I couldn't fathom like I know it's neo traditionalism, but like they would say this that this that. I'm like should we try to go for that one? Because like I mean, thank God we didn't though. I was not trying to stand there for each competition the entire weekend because
it's a long process.
The speaking of which, with everything going on with that, how did when things got like I would say a couple hours from I think it was 5 or 6 or whatever time that we wanted to be able to like get involved with anything. What was going like I don't want to say you kicked it into 10th gear, but like I mean I quite literally felt what was going through you a little bit, and yeah, I definitely things started to speed up there towards the end. How were you stressed?
A little bit. I wanted to make sure that every little thing was perfect for the judges.
Oh, I know.
Because we were putting them in front of many people, and it's not all about the judges and putting it in front of them. I wanted to be perfect for you. I wanted it to be perfect for me. I'm always a perfectionist about everything, and just being in that time constraint. Yeah, it is a little bit stressful.
Well, like like the first day you were critiquing yourself. You always like go back for that last little detail to make it as good as it can be, which is what I love. But obviously when it's happening, I hate you. But like the first day you did that, but obviously like there's no like timeline. We knew we had to be out of there by whatever time. So like you would go if you like it. I think it was my elbow. You went over my elbow the first time and it was miserable, and then you went on to something else, and then you came back for that little detail because whatever. But I definitely could tell yesterday. It was like once your head you saw something that like you wanted to fix later, but you knew there was no later. So there's definitely a few times where like I would be in pain, like in a bad spot, and then you would like be done, and I'd be like, thank God, and then you basically just push me back down and be like, no, I'm not, and then right back to it. I I didn't really get a vibe that the stress was getting to you, but it definitely was interesting to see your head go from like kick it up a notch.
So what you're talking about is basically like I try to balance like the pain management for the client versus what I'm doing because it's obviously a painful experience. So I try to do what I can to ease the pain, and that comes down to like how I'm like what I'm doing for the client, like talking to them, or how I'm positioning myself on the client, how much body weight I'm putting on them, how much I'm wiping, like all that kind of shit goes into play. So when I kick it into high gear and stuff like that, I'm just basically cutting out all the bullshit that I do put into play, and I'm just getting what needs to be done. And so like
Yep.
I'm just not being so nice about it anymore.
Yeah, especially I think I want to say the last half hour. It was definitely like, and I will say the way you went about it, it kind of was less so like, oh, he's being a dick now because he's whatever. And it wasn't ever that you were being necessarily a dick, but like in my head, the moment I saw like the tone shift in your head, I was like, oh, we're locking in. Okay, let's lock in. And
Yeah.
I think there was enough like of a hype behind it where like it was more of like a yeah than like a oh. Um,
I think that's what's fun about the convention scene is
that
like
that
it is kind
I
of
would
like
say
gamified in a way.
because like it was halfway through the day and we really I mean I never have any clue like what's how much longer or like what is going on. I barely can tell what part of my body you're tattooing. um but it was like halfway through the day and like I was kind of 50-50 on like is he gonna do it or not, like is he gonna make it. And then I think I remember telling you like, all right, I want one bathroom break, and then we're locking in. I'm good. And then I kind of like hyped myself up. I came back, and I was basically like, whatever you need, Colin, you just let. And I think that kind of game helped towards the end. Just kind of it'll end shortly, get it over with,
Yep.
because there's sometimes where like I think you got a lot of the painful spots done and out of the way, like in such a quick way that they were miserable and then they're just done. Like you never had to go back to them, nothing. So by the end, like when you were doing your little final touches and we were wrapping up, I was waiting for you to like go back to not my elbow because that was the first day, but like I think it was like right on my collar. I think it was like that spot that like you didn't have to touch up, and I was dreading it for like 3 hours, but I didn't want to say anything. And then you just didn't go back to it, and the amount of relief I had, and then I was like, oh, great, he's locked in. Or he's been locked on. He's been locked in before I even knew we were locking in.
Right.
I just was. It was interesting to see you had to work fast, but also like I'll call it respectful, where like obviously you're not rushing a client's tattoo. It was really cool to see the balance. I mean, I think even uh like Olivia looked confused because by like the three-quarter mark of the day, like she didn't know what compared to day one. The whole thing was weird. We did what we did in 5 hours, I think, on Sunday. We may have done more on Sunday than Saturday. Maybe not in actual volume, but like with the amount of detail in the face of Jormungandr. Um, I was impressed. I was tired,
So
but
would you say that that was the part of the day that surprised you the most?
that
Was
you
how much detail we were able to get done in like the short period of time?
Yeah, there was like I want to say the scales and the actual like the mouth and the scales. Like the scales towards the top of the head where they stop just being normal scales and they start being spiky. You did that, I'll say, in a mix of like you did that so efficiently that like I had like tried to get a peek, and when I first did the peek, I was like, okay, he's it's gonna be a couple hours of this. And then I went like this. And it was like 30 minutes later. I like looked back and I expect you to just be like halfway or something like that. And you were on like an entirely different part of my arm. They were done. And that was like, ooh, all right.
You're not fucking
All right.
around.
And like it kind of helps because like I started getting like how I get antsy. So like especially when I get like that quick satisfaction of like looking up and like, oh okay, he moving. I just kind of okay, we're good. Um I think you cued into that a little bit because you stopped letting me look. Like, I think I started going like this, and you would like move your arm to like just be there, which
So
I
that's like
appreciate.
one of the biggest things, like reasons I lay everybody down now, and like I don't really use arm rest or anything like that. Is like it's that. It's like I know you want to look, and I know the feeling of wanting to look, and when I get tattooed too. But if you get in the way when you start looking.
When being a tattoo artist and having tattoos, assuming you obviously did not do all of your own tattoos. I've never done a tattoo. This is technically, they're all big, but like my second or my third tattoo, when I get antsy, I start trying to like, in my head, I'm thinking about ways to like micromanage. So like something, and I literally want to tell you like, hey, I don't think you have to be there right now. Hey, I think you're going a little, I think you can go a little fast. So like, they're just because I'm antsy and I'm getting stressed out. But like, how does that work? If you have any similar, how does that work being a tattoo artist? If you have anything like that, because I can see it being a normal thing because you're trying to like help the process so you can be out of pain faster. But like, I can only imagine someone who actually knows what they're doing and then getting the tattoo done. And like, if I were you, I'd be like watching them and be like, nah, you probably could have done that in like 3 strokes instead of 30. You probably could have faster. Oh, that line's a little off.
You only get tattooed by people who you think are better than you.
So it's like a barber cut. It's like in your haircut.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
You always go up.
I was gonna make that joke when we were at the convention with all the other tattoo artists. It's like, so you're gonna go find a tattoo artist you like, and I'm gonna go to him then, right? But you did it. You did it. You literally that. I think that because we got there, and then we did like I did my little lap to see what was going on, and like I totally expected you to like point things out and be like, this guy's this so and so, blah blah blah, and then I was gonna make that joke like, oh, so I should go get my tattoo by him, and you just didn't. So I was like, okay, Colin's the best one here. Sounds good.
I will definitely not claim to be the best one there. I think we were just like in such like a we need to get shit done, and you got there so late on Friday, so it was just like and most people were gone by the time you got there. So
Yeah, that is
don't
true.
make me look like an asshole. That make me seem like I have a chip on my shoulder, Mister Man.
Oh no, it's not. It's all my little headcanons I have for myself. I like walked in on Friday, and because it was dead, and because it was late, and you were there, I'm like, oh, so he's the only tattoo artist that takes himself seriously.
Yeah, Friday was just dead. Like honestly, like most people just wanted to get out of there.
No, I take ownership over you as my artist, so I just in my head I like to I'll flex for you, Colin.
And I appreciate it.
No,
So what would past you say about this tattoo?
one more time.
What would past you say about this tattoo?
What would past you?
Past you.
What would past me?
Like previous you, previous year yous.
Literally, okay, literally past me. Say about okay. Oh, that's a good one, because two things. So like I've always wanted a badass sleeve. So I think the only really big thing I would say to myself if like I talked to myself even 4 years ago would just the first thing would be like you got color. But at the same time, the same way I was when I first saw your work, I feel like I'd be the same way. Like I would look at it and I would understand exactly why. Because when I looked at your work the first time, I like the color just makes it look animated. It makes it look like you painted, you drew. It's artwork that almost like, especially it being like a snake. I moved my arm, and because of the colors, because of the style, it literally looks like I have a painting on my arm that moves with my arm.
Right.
The black and white doesn't do it justice because it's just black and white. It looks like a sketch. It looks like a drawing, which I thought I loved because I was in architecture. All I did was draw all day. But you add some color, and it kind of makes it more vibrant. It makes it more alive. And I think past me would see that immediately, just like how I did with you, 3 months ago. But I do think he would ask. I go through phases, so like if you asked me 6 years ago what you want on your arm as a sleeve, I would say like a westernized dragon, and there'd be more Greek and edge elements to it. He would be more taken aback by exactly what colors, more so than the color, and the fact that it's Jormungandr and not like a Game of Thrones dragon or a wyvern. I honestly think he would the last tattoo we did, I would be pissed about because the flowers. I think I would see it. I would see it, but I don't think I would be able to be convinced at any other. Like this year was a good year for me to start getting tattoos again. I think any year like prior, I'd be trying to live up to like this weird pride or like this weird head idea of what I needed to look like and how with the tattoos. And now it's kind of just. I mean, I want to look like this. I want Colin tattoos all over me. And I think I wouldn't expect to have this much done yet. I'm only 22, so I expected maybe by the time I was like 30 or 40 or dead that I would have like all the specific tattoos I wanted.
Right.
The fact that I have my abs and a full sleeve already, that's like 2 out of the abs were like extra actually. That was like a off note. I was like, oh, that sounds like a really dope thing to do. We're gonna do my back, which would be a redo, but like I only expected to really only get like maybe a half sleeve, my back, something on my chest, and like that was it. We're already halfway there, and I got one of them 2 months ago. This is the second. So I'm actually more worried I'm gonna just have a body I'm 24.
Hell yeah. So what would you want future you to remember when they look at the tattoos?
Would remember me or remember what they want to remember when they look at them?
What you want them to remember when they look at them?
I think I'm going to look at my sleeve and my abs as not one piece, but 2 of the same because they all happen within so quick together. I think it's going to be very prideful for how life's been lately, and then just how much I hated getting them in the moment, and then how that relief and satisfaction I got after they are done. I'm going to remember my mindset realistically, like this is dope ass tattoo. So like it's just I'm always gonna be prideful I did it. I'm always gonna be happy I did it. I'm always gonna be satisfied at it. And I'm always gonna be glad that I found an artist like you that is able to kind of take the chaos of my brain and kind of give me something unexpected. Because whenever I get exactly what I like, my back, I got exactly what I want. And it didn't give me the same.
That was the issue, is you got exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, I got exact down to where each crow was exact. And I wasn't even that like pressuring on the artist. I was more just like, I want this with crow. And then bounce like there's only so much you could do with that. So like she bounced the idea around like with different whatever. I know she had one that was more of a flow with the tree, which funny enough probably was the better thing to do. But I was like, nah, I kind of want this tree just to like be dead and just go straight up my back. And then I got it, and like I do have feelings with this tattoo for when I got it, how I got it, but I was also halfway through college and I just wanted to do something in between the semesters. And I just turned 18. So I went and got this guy. It doesn't give me the same like I feel like I'm literally looking at like a painting every time I look at my arm or my core. My back, I can't even look at my back. That's probably the biggest thing is I can't even see what's going on back there, and it doesn't really bleed into anything or become anything. So these give me motivation to get more. They give me motivation so that 30 years from now, I look at them, I'll just kind of giggle probably and be like, "Hey, I actually did that shit." No, I will say I need to be smarter with time wise on when we do these big ginormous pieces because trying to hold an impact on fully extended hanging from a ceiling is not fun when you can only move your arm slowly and very stiffly. Plus, that's before you even get talking about the tingles.
The tingles.
I'll go the entire time, like all day at work, like not necessarily not feeling it, but like it just I feel the pressure of like just the wrap right now. But like then I'll like stand up too quick and like blood flow will change or something, and I'll just feel it start up here and just work its way down my arm, and it's like oh. I'll take that over literally just trying to stand up real quick with this last tattoo and just wanting to sit back down, and then not wanting to sit back down because any motion hurt. But no, I love it, man. Yeah, I think you did great. I think I'm too excited for more.
I appreciate it.
Like really the only thing now that I've had 2 pieces done by you, and you've what? It's probably we're going on 40 hours of you being stuck tattooing me. I think this was like 20, close to over 20, give or take. This was like 16 or so. What's going through your brain when you're actually tattooing me? Like actually, like the stupid thoughts, because this is what will go through my brain. I'm on the table, and like the professional guy, especially at the convention, right? So like, especially if there's someone behind me checking stuff out, I want to like look a certain way for your sake. But no matter what, in your head, knowing how you are, half the I don't see how you're so professional when you're like actually tattooing me. And then the noises I make, the way.
Oh.
How you keep it professional, but like don't at the same time.
Yeah, so things going through my head would be, this guy's a fucking crackhead. Stop wiggling. Stop looking at me. Look away. Stop wiggling. Stay still.
I think that there's times where I totally look you dead in the eye. By the way, I know you.
I know.
But like,
and those were the times I just kind of took my arm and.
Like, I'm trying to remember now. I know the wiggling you're talking about. Then there's like, okay, so then you mentioned the one time like I keep pulling my arm away, right? So and then I try to like really focus on not moving my arm, and then because you're moving the needles, like down or up or whatever, it feels like I'm moving my arm. So like after you yelled at me initially, did I actually stop, or did I still have like a weird?
I don't know. I don't remember those kind of specifics. I just know I had to reposition you like 100 times.
Yeah, I would. That, and then I was trying to watch my phone, and then there was a couple times where I was in like Zen, and it's great. And usually that's when I'm assuming you can actually like focus one and only on what you're doing. And then there's when like you hit that one weird spot suddenly, and I know it happened at least once. You hit like it wasn't my elbow; it was just a weird spot. It was like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was back there.
It was like just a weird spot, and it was like I was good. And that's when I kind of started thinking about the whole like, oh, he's locked in because I think on Saturday when I did that, you were like, you good? And I was like, yeah, we're good. That not on Sunday. You basically do the equivalent of like try not to sound like you totally just grab me and just make that. But
it's like the initial impact. I stop. I let you breathe. It's like, okay, we're here, and then I go.
Yeah, it was like a quick. All right, let's go. And I was like, okay. When you're like, at what point in either tattoo do you think that like, do you sit there and like reflect on what you're doing and like on past projects to this project? Like you do something, you're like, I usually don't do this, or I
24/7.
So you do kind of like micromanage yourself a little bit as you go. How's that? Yep. Like? I can only imagine.
It's more like self-critiquing like techniques at all times to make sure I'm like being the most efficient at all times, and like that's the only reason we can accomplish this kind of large scale stuff over the 2 days, and it's because like I'm constantly thinking about like what angles I'm holding the machine at and which cross hatching pattern I'm utilizing at that point to get the full saturation within, I guess, minimal um, passings as possible. That kind of stuff.
I can't. My job is only to sit there and just look pretty and still as you're
Right.
obliterating me. So I try to like be aware of everything, and I really can't when it comes to any like tattooing. I can like in school and I'm having to like design something. Like I know what kind of go the thought of designing, but it's also something where one, it's a pencil. Like I'm not. It's not a live thing. Two, I can one erase it or like start again. Two, like realistically, anything I do there, it's in such a process of time that I don't like. It's not as on the fly, or because you're working on a canvas, you're working on a paper.
So that's where all the preparation beforehand goes into play, though. So like everything you've brought up, it's like, yes, this is the issue, but like this is the fix. So like preparing the entire design beforehand, that takes all that stress out, so I can focus on all the techniques. When one of the techniques isn't working, you pull something else out of the toolbox. And so it's like I'm going this past year when I went and learned all those new techniques from all these other people. Now I'm able to pull from that. So if I'm trying to get saturation, so like you remember on that one part of your arm where like I wiped and I was like, wow, that saturation is just not there, and we had to go back in there.
Yep.
I was able to pull something else out of the toolbox and adjust really quickly, go back in there, and we wiped and boom, done. And like a year ago, I wouldn't know what to fucking do. I'd be like, oh, let's try that again, and I would just be sitting there traumatizing this kid because
How do you not like freak out though? Like when we're in session, so like you do that beforehand. In session, you're working. And I'm like, there's things that aren't really in your control, but they kind of have to be. So like you have with me, I'll start wiggling. So like the techniques you may have, I'm sure no one really can tattoo with someone that is moving all over the place. Or just unknown variables that pop up in the moment of tattooing live. How do you not? Because like I would freak out. I would design a house. I would know everything that goes into this house and why. And then would have to present it to my teacher. And he would ask a simple question just in the moment. And then if I didn't have an answer for it, I would freak the hell out right in front of him. So like we're literally tattooing on someone's skin. It's permanent. They are in pain, which means they're irritable. And now let's say like there's an unknown variable. It could be anything, whether it's them or you, that comes up. How do you, I'll say, overcome and just keep rolling with it and just you get
so
not
not everything's gonna be like the convention and like everything being on the time limit. And like in reality, if we didn't get to finish the tattoo, like we wouldn't submit it to the contest. Like that, it's not all about the contest. It's just like I wanted to get it in there, so we got it done. So like the in the moment type things, like if something is like really going down that I'm not prepared for, we just take a break. Simple as that. Like sometimes you just need to take a breather and think it out. Sometimes you have to reach out to a friend and think it out. Sometimes you just need to cut the session short. Like, and someone would much rather you prefer to do that than just do something bad to them, because you're right that it is permanent, and I do take all that shit seriously. So it's like, just take a breather, just stop. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I will say that is a good thing for like really anything you do in a day. If it's not going well or something comes up and you really can't figure out right there and then, take a breather. And so when you're doing this at the convention, was there any moments like that? Not that we didn't have the time to take a breather. So was there any moments where like you like, did this go exactly how you planned?
I'd say the only thing that like gave me like a little panic was the little sigil thing when the stencil wiped away and I had to freehand a little bit, and then it wasn't lining up, and then that's why we took a little break from it, and then I went back and fixed it, and now it's all pretty.
Yeah, that's sure. It's so bold and it stands out so well. I love it. I mean, I believe in the we originally intended for the gray around it, right?
Yeah.
I'm really glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
I was kind of, I was really, now that it's just wrapped and like I can mostly see it and kind of, and everything, I'm starting to really just adore the fact that we kept a little bit more skin.
The more you're holding up your arm, the more I see how swollen you are. It's so funny.
Yeah, you did. No, you should see me try to put on a hoodie. Like it's, I have a whole rhythm where I could just slide my arm through and it works because like it's my size. Because of how swollen I am, my arm don't fit. It's like now, it's been how I started I start and end each day struggling with my hoodie. It's
And be
rough,
proud of it.
but every time I'm doing it, like I'll say taking off the hoodie is the best because like I'm not hiding this. I take my hoodie off. I'm like, yeah, worth it. But in the start of the day, I'm burying it. So like I'm putting the hoodie on, and then now I'm kind of in pain, and I can't even see why.
Right.
I've really, that's kind of like the biggest thing I guess I could say is just each day, because I obviously have to go back to my life after this. It's just been, I've been excited just to like, I went to Buffalo Wild Wings last night and I stripped down to just my shirt and I just to wave around my wrapped up arm at a public place. I was like probably for a good 3 minutes, just kind of like
Nice.
Buffalo Wild Wings just to myself. No, it's just I'm beyond excited for more to come, and then it's not even like I don't have any question in my mind about what you're capable of or like what, especially the both of our minds come up with. But it's really just I throw a few ideas out there, and this is mostly you. I was looking at the original ideas that I had sent you, and I never would have guessed it would go this direction. But the fact that it's Jormungandr and you even fit in my tree, I am so beyond happy. It's just, it looks so good.
Hell yeah. So one last question before we close out. What is something people get wrong about tattoos that we need to bully them out of?
Honestly, at the moment, because a lot of the whole like weird thing with just tattoos in general is not gone, but like mostly, it's the idea that you need to be so utterly just committed to a idea of a tattoo before you get one. So like there was a lot of effort on both ends and like thought that would go into this or my like even my ribs. But realistically with how we can, if really need be, like remove them, or two, the amount of like creative artists we have out there like yourself that can take something like my back, or I mean I don't know how many tattoos of Olivia that she showed you, but like she's planning on getting them. She wants, don't tell her I said this, she wants her leg done, I think, by you. And there's a bunch of patchwork in it. And she was kind of weirded out because she didn't know like what really could be done with it because this is really random. And I'm literally 110% certain that you, whatever you would do to her leg, would hide anything she wants hidden, and you would never know there was another tattoo there. Like, yeah, you should be committed to the idea enough because it's expensive and because no matter what, like, you're going to be going through pain for it. But, like, honestly, I'm about to just start use me as just practice and just to, as long as you feel as if you do one here and then like 2 years go by and you're like, oh, I want to redo it, you redo it and it's better. I don't really, that's the point I'm getting to. And that's kind of the biggest thing I'm learning from even just working with that. There's so many, it's so much more creative and imaginary, and there's so much more you can do with it, with any tattoo, existing or not existing, that the whole fear of like getting one you regret or getting one at all, it's dumb. It's pointless. Worst case scenario, really anything, just get that shit zapped.
Right. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting my whole left arm zapped. I'm getting my back zapped. A bunch of shit.
Well, if you're Colin, you'll do that just so you can probably feel it again. Actual tattooing of this fuck.
All right, so we're going on 40 minutes for this part, so we're gonna wrap it up. So thank you for joining me, Dante. Make sure you like and subscribe to whatever this is posted on. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at Colin Bussing Tattoos. Facebook, it is Colin Bussing Tattoos. And thank you for joining us. And as always, it's fresh ink, fresh clarity, mild trauma. See you next episode.